Hello and welcome to Good Food Matters. I'm your host, Janet Zappala, and your cook. Today I'm making panzanella salad. You will love it. It's a Tuscan chopped salad. Absolutely delicious, super easy to make, and really good for you. I've also got two great guests with some great recipes. I've got my nephew Jordan coming on board. He's a chef, a musician, and a stand-up comic. So you never know what you're going to get. And we also have Sean Taylor on board. She has invented some kitchen gadgets for us to make your life and mine a whole lot easier. We need 3 bell peppers to start with. I've chopped up 2. We've got red and orange. You can also use green if you'd like, but they're less ripe, less tasty, and less nutritious. So that's why I don't really enjoy using the green too much. But if that's all they have, then go for it. You'll still be able to make a great panzanella salad. And if you can, go organic, because these things are sprayed quite a bit by pesticides. You don't want to have that on things that you're eating, especially with these, because you're eating the whole thing. You're eating the skin and all. So you want to make sure that they're clean. And of course, even if it's organic, you have to make sure that you're washing it really well. Always very important to wash your fruits and your veggies. Just a rough chop, just like this. And again, you want to, when it comes to the peppers, you've got a little bit of this white here. I believe it's called pith. So we're going to get rid of that because it's not good. Doesn't taste good. You don't want that in your salad. And then just get the seeds out like that. Again, a rough chop. 4 Roma tomatoes. Also rough chopped, also organic if you can. I always say pay a little bit more now for really healthy foods and a lot less at the doctor's office later, right? Makes sense? So we're going to rough chop this. Just cut it into 4s. As easy as that. Cut the end off here just a little, get rid of that. I have to start composting. I don't know if you do. I know a lot of people do. My friends and some family members do, and I really need to start doing that. When you've got leftovers from fruits and veggies, composting is the way to go. So I've also rough chopped 1 full onion, 1 whole onion, red onion. Delicious, love it. And then, of course, we've got some garlic. You know, I don't ever, if I can help it, make anything without garlic. You're going to take about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to dress it up just like this before we bake it. If you want a little more, again, eyeball it. With me, with cooking, as you probably know by now, I eyeball a lot of things because it's what I like and what I think my friends and family that I'm cooking for will like. So it works that way, and it's not as science-oriented as exact as baking, for example. So you've got some leeway. Look at that. So you see the glisten of the extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of black pepper, some salt. I use kosher salt. You can use sea salt, any kind of salt you want, but I like the kosher variety. Now I've already brushed some extra virgin olive oil on this big baking sheet here. You probably can see the sheen, so you don't want anything to stick. And once everything is thoroughly covered and coated with the olive oil and the garlic's in there and the salt and pepper, you're going to get a little messy. Don't worry about it. There's always the sink and soap nearby. Look at that. Is that a bounty of good food? Some fresh basil, so let me chop this up. Again, rough chop, not a big deal. You don't have to be really fancy. And just shower that on top and then spread them out. You want to make sure that they're on a single layer so everything cooks evenly. Oh, is that beautiful? Look at the colors. At 425 for about 25 minutes. If you like bread, you've come to the right place because, as I say, for this particular recipe, the bread you must have. Now, this is day-old multi-grain bread. You can use sourdough or an Italian baguette. Really works the best. You just cut it up in chunks like this. Again, this is Tuscan style. So with Tuscan food, everything's rough chopped. It's an easy kind of a thing. You don't have to be so precise with all the chopping. I think this is one of the greatest things about this recipe is the dressing. And when you see how easy this is to make, you probably use it for a lot of other salads. So all it takes is 1/2 cup extra virgin olive oil. Love it. 1/4 cup red wine vinegar. Then we've got some shallots. Now look at this. I've already chopped up. You want to do 1 shallot. Now shallots come in different sizes, so it also depends on what you like. If you like that shallot taste, add more. This was a big shallot, so you can see how much is here. I love it because they're sweet, they're mild, and that's why they're in this particular dressing. And this isn't even 1 shallot. Look at that. So if that is enough for you, then keep it that way. For me, as I say, I love shallots, so I'm going to just chop this baby up and finish it off. And then of course we add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, as easy as that, and then whisk it up. Look at, just as easy as this. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to think that, oh, I can't cook, I can't do this, it's too hard. You see how I'm doing this? It's elementary, my friend. And there we have it, a delicious dressing that's going to go over all those veggies, those scrumptious veggies, and the bread once everything is baked and ready for consumption. Oh, if you could only smell this. Oh, it's intoxicating. 10 minutes left before the veggies are ready, so I want to check on them, make sure everything looks good. And they look fabulous. You can hear the sizzle. You can see they're cooking up. You might want to shake them out a little bit, you know, just make sure. Like that. You really don't have to turn them. Just make sure that everything is cooking properly. And then the bread is going to make the salad as well. Goes in. Again, 10 minutes before the veggies are done. I believe the panzanella salad is ready after 25 minutes. At 4:25, we have a winner. Look at that. A bounty of great flavor and nutrition. And of course, let's not forget the pane bread in Italian. All right, so we're going to put this right on here. The smell is amazing. Now, this baking sheet is quite large, so let's see how we can do this. In fact, I think I'm just going to spoon it right in, like this. I'm going to whisk it one more time, make sure everything's combined, and then just a little stir will do ya, just like this. And of course, you always want to taste it as the cook. Make sure that your seasonings are working well. A little bit of red wine with this, and you've got a meal pretty much. All right, I'm going to try this. Let's plate it here. And there you have it, my friends, a delicious panzanella salad. Come on, Sean, you've got to try this. Let me know what you think. There she is.
I've been waiting to hear those words, Janet.
Could you smell it?
From the oven
really?
to the counter. It smells great. I love it.
It's one of my favorites. This is Sean Taylor. She invents kitchen gadgets, and she is amazing. And I know it's your passion, right?
Oh, yes.
You want to take a little bite? Try it?
Yes.
All right. I can't help myself. Good?
Delicious.
Right? Little tang from the vinegar. You can really taste the shallots, or in that sweetness of the shallots. And then you've got that texture from the onion, the red onion, and the tomatoes. Not to mention the garlic, which just, I'm telling you, just entertains the palate.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot, but everything is perfectly blended.
Oh, thank you.
Nothing is overwhelming.
Oh, great.
The other one, it is absolutely a perfect blend of everything.
I'm happy to hear that
Tastes
because you can do this at home, right? I mean, it's so easy. You saw how I did it in a snap. And I'm telling you, the payoff is huge, especially when you have people over and you're having a barbecue. It's a great summer salad, but really all year round, you can make this kind of a salad and enjoy it. All right, so we are talking about Sean Taylor right now and kitchen gadgets. So you've made a couple things. Tell us why you came up with this. Well, first of all, what is this exactly? And then why you came up with it.
This is a utensil rest. A regular spoon utensil, serving utensil rest. And the purpose of it is that every year we have an annual event. We celebrate my daughter's birthday in the backyard. Real huge, lots of food.
And you're from New Orleans, right?
Oh, yes.
Now, do you say New Orleans?
The Big Easy.
The Big Easy. Is it New Orleans?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Nolers.
Well, what's proper? What's the bet from? I want to get it from a native.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yes.
All right, you heard it right here. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. So you have a lot of outdoor events with family and friends, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And a lot of food that's indoors ends up outdoors.
That's
but
right.
when we were going outdoors, had nothing practical to take outdoors with us. The uninvited guest was always coming.
The uninvited guests, meaning
The flies.
the fly, and they're ever present, and they're
Yes.
ubiquitous, especially when you're eating. They just find their way onto your food.
Oh yes, they can smell
Shoe
it.
fly, and so
Like-
there's sort of a shoe fly. Yeah, they can smell it from miles
yeah,
away.
Like I was smelling it. Yeah, they smell it too.
2 blocks away they'd be
Unfortunately,
if we were
yes.
outside. So you have
Unfortunately.
issues where outside you're doing a barbecue, a picnic, and you've got flies landing on different things, and you certainly don't want that on your utensils, not to mention the
Exactly.
food.
Exactly. Utensils comes into contact with food. Now, with this automatic closing tab here, we just put it in here, close
Look
it,
at you.
and it protects it.
Boom, nicely done. Yeah, that makes it really easy, rather than having to continue to buy foil and things that are going to be
Exact-
kind of serve the same purpose, but it gets pricey.
It does.
Can you give us a price on this?
And it was from $7.99 to $9.99.
Okay, and do you sell them in like 4s or 6s or 2s, or they come single? Or?
Not yet,
Okay.
but we're working on that.
So how new is this particular
it's-
product?
Been in market for about 5 months.
So you're brand new.
Yes, I am absolutely brand new.
And now where can people find these things?
And on my website, theopendoorkitchen.com, also Walmart Marketplace, walmart.com, and also amazon.com.
You already made it into Walmart? Congratulations!
sure
My
did. Oh, thank
goodness,
you.
that was quick in 5 months.
Oh,
So
yes.
this is a passion of yours? This is something you just felt that was really necessary? That it was
Yes.
putting a damper on things before this because you had so many issues with flies and bugs and that kind of thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because everything that I was using indoors
Yeah.
was not practical for when I went outdoors
Okay.
with it. So we have serving spoon
got?
rest currently,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't
You
practical.
mean something
for-
like this? I've got something,
Exactly.
but it doesn't have a cover on it,
Yes,
right?
but when we're going tailgate,
Yeah.
this is not practical for us to bring to
That's
our
right.
tailgate. So
That's
I was
right.
like, we need a serving utensil and spoon rest that's practical for when we go outdoors
Outside.
too.
And you've got
Yes.
something else coming up here from what I
Yes,
said.
a
So it's called
retractable lid.
a retractable lid. Now how's that going to work?
The center is just that. It's an accordion and it retracts. So
Okay.
whenever you it fits on aluminum pans, on large aluminum pans, and eventually we're going to do the half pans. But it's for large aluminum pans. Once it snaps on, there's absolutely no reason to remove it. It stays snapped on, and when you
It
get
just
ready to
slides
serve, you
open.
slide it back.
I love
You
it.
serve yourself and
Slide it closed.
Yes.
Just like that. Really,
aluminum
really nice.
foil tears easily.
Yes, it does. And again, that gets costly as well. So what
Exactly.
will something like this sell for?
I haven't set a price for it.
Okay. All right.
But
Because there are a lot
it's
of
going to
different.
retail between $10 and $15.
All right. I guess there
Yes.
will be a lot of different things that you have to take into account when you're setting your prices, right?
Oh, yes.
Because it costs you to make the product.
Yes.
And then to get it out there.
The
But you-
freight,
but
yeah,
it's-
that's several.
But it sounds reasonable, I have to say.
Oh, yes.
And these things will last you. You don't have to continually go out and buy.
Reusable.
Yeah, reusable.
Yes, everything is reusable.
Wow, I love this, Sean. What I really love is that you've got this passion, right? This has been going on for a while. You said, I've got to do something.
I love to eat. I'm from New Orleans. That's what we do.
Oh, awesome.
We
Did you
love
bring
to
any-
eat and we love to party.
Did you bring any beignets with you, perchance?
Oh, I
Do you have
should.
any in your back pocket?
Oh, I wish I did.
My favorite, and I don't eat those
You
too
do?
often, but I'll tell you, if I'm in the Big Easy, I'm eating a beignet.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
one of our favorites. Yes,
right.
one
Well,
of our favorites back home.
Of many.
Oh yeah. What about seafood? Would you
And
eat our seafood?
Cajun, I
Our
love
boil-
Cajun. I
Oh,
do
yeah.
love Cajun. Not fried, but I do love Cajun food.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, all right. I'm waiting for an invite. I'm waiting for you to say, Janet, whenever you come down to New Orleans
Okay,
or
I'm
New
giving you
Orleans.
one now.
All right, there you go. You heard it. I'll be
I'm
there.
definitely giving it to you now.
Sean, thank you so much for taking
You're
the time
so
for coming coming
and
all the
thank
way
you,
from New
Janet.
Orleans, right?
Yes.
I don't know. There's so many ways to say it. I just feel like I say it wrong every time. Thank you for watching this
Yes.
because this is something I think is going to pay off for people.
We'll come
right?
no matter what you call us. Just don't call us too late for something to eat.
Oh, that never happens there in New Orleans. And by the way, I'll have your information on my website as well, janetzappala.com. We've got my
you.
nephew coming in. He's going to be
I'm
cooking
looking forward
and
to
playing.
seeing him.
Oh, I'm telling you, you're
yes,
going
I'm
to
really
get a kick
looking
out.
forward.
He does some stand-up comedy. He plays
great.
the guitar. But most importantly on this show, he's going to cook for us.
Oh,
all right?
yes, yes.
Jordan, where are you? I'm still feeling the beat. Jordan, come on in. You play a mean guitar.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That was quite a riff. Did you teach that to yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. I just practice on my own and,
Yeah.
just lock myself in my room and practice when I was a teenager.
Yeah, well, it's paid off, I'm telling you. And you also, I know, have worked really hard in the kitchen. You're a professional chef. You've worked in Italian restaurants, and now you're at a French restaurant. You're making what exactly? I know pork.
It's a pork tenderloin dish with a poached pear red wine reduction sauce. And you get the pears here, the sauce, the pork tenderloin, kind of pound it out into kind of like a flat pancake. And the sauce, basically, you cook it down, red wine, Taylor port, a little bit of cloves.
Did you say port?
Yeah.
A Taylor port?
Yeah, Taylor port
okay,
wine, a
like
little
that.
sweet wine.
Yeah.
You poach the pears down in there.
Oh, yeah.
And the chunky stuff is basically you take a pear, take a spoon, mash it into like a paste.
Yes.
And so like there's chunks of pear that go into
nice.
there's pork gets a lot of like certain things go with pork
like pears,
like pear,
apples,
like applesauce, yeah. And
yeah.
Most people do it with like a loin, not like or with like a chop, like a bigger piece of meat. And I kind of did it with the tenderloin.
And Jordan, I wanted to show folks how you do this because this is kind of fancy schmancy what you did with the pear here, how you sliced it, right?
Yeah.
So kind of give us an idea of how we can achieve that effect.
So when you poach the pear, after you quarter the pear and peel it, you poach it, and then you basically just take it on its side and you slice up the pear just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times and fan it out like a fan.
Nice, and it's really tender at that point because you've already poached it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you just you basically slice it 6 times, fan it, and then it just kind of fans out into like a nice little
that is
hors d'oeuvre
pretty.
piece.
Yeah, it really is a pretty. Because again, we always say you eat with your eyes first, right?
Yeah.
And when you see pretty things like this, it just makes it even that much more inviting, right? Okay, so next is we're going to make the pork tenderloin, and you basically just took a pork tenderloin, you cut it in slices, and then you pounded it, and then it comes out really thin and tender. I can't wait. Okay, so you're going to be making that for us. I tell you, my nephew's amazing, and you're also a stand-up comic, Jordan Zappala.
That's
Get
right.
the name, because I'm telling you, this kid is amazing on stage. But you can't really tell us anything right now because, well, it's not really for all audiences. Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, you could do a Seinfeld kind of thing where it's very clean. It's really adult comedy, but really for everybody, right?
Nah.
Overall, no.
No, yeah, I don't do. I don't do like clean humor, so it's not like appropriate for everything. But
okay.
I would.
Can you think of something semi-clean that you could share with us right now? I put you on the spot, I know. All right, we're cooking. Let's cook, and if you come up with something along the way, you'll share.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Okay, and by the way, I noticed that you're using Sean Taylor's little spoon rest there for your tongs.
Yeah, and I went ahead and went and picked up some of these Sean Taylor sure cover utensil rests. I really think they're the best ones you can pick up. Really do think they're great. Open the kitchen door, go ahead and sit down, eat with confidence, and pick up yourself some Sean Taylor. They really do the trick. You want to go ahead and get yourself some of those.
Nice. You know, Sean is going to hire you as her spokesperson.
She better.
But this should fall. All right, here we go. And by the way, I think caterers would use these like big time.
I mean, caterers can use them, people in restaurants can use them, anybody can use them. You could use them in a barbecue grill, you could use them at the beach, you could use them indoors. I mean, listen, they're great. I mean, no one, I don't even, listen, no one paid me to say this, but they're great. They really are great.
All right, well, moving along.
Okay.
I'm sold. I was already sold, but now I'm doubly sold.
Me too.
All right, pork tenderloin happens to be one of my favorites.
Here, you want to take a few pieces, like whatever you're going to use for the pan. So, like, I'm going to say like about 4 pieces.
Yes.
Yeah. Season them with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
And then you're
And
going
look
to
at how
flour
thin
them
they
over.
are. They're beautiful, like little thin pancakes.
Yeah, it's
I
like a
love
meat
it.
pancake.
Yeah, which makes it nice and tender, I would imagine.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so you just want to make sure the salt stays in there.
Yep.
And then you're going to go ahead and grab your flour.
Let's grab some flour. And drudge it through,
and
right?
just kind of real light. You don't want to like have a lot. You want to kind of just get like a light.
Just a
coating.
light coating? Very nice. Now you did a lot of prep beforehand. This
Yes.
is more of a special occasion meal because it takes a little more time.
Yeah, it's a special occasion meal. It takes a long time to prep everything, so it's not like an everyday thing.
Right, this could be a date meal, something special, right?
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
poached pears, I love it. That meat smells fabulous. It's partially cooked at this point, right?
It is.
Yeah, because you have to
Yes.
make the sauce
Yes.
to go with it. And this really is, I guess, the game changer, this kind of a sauce over the pork. So you have the port wine you mentioned. What else?
It's a red wine, a port wine, a sweet wine. It's got cloves. You poach the pears in the wine and basically just turn it into like a pear-infused wine.
I love it, and we will have that recipe on my website, so don't forget, janetzappala.com. So where are we in this process now, my dear? The meat goes back in here now? In the
Yeah,
fry?
you're gonna cook the meat with the sauce, and then you're gonna have the salt from the meat and the sweetness from the sauce.
love
and
it.
it's
Here you
gonna
go, my dear.
give you a little bit of
All those different flavor combinations are
Exactly.
just exciting to think about. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. And how much longer does this have to cook now?
You're just gonna cook it for like another 2 or 3 minutes, basically, because the meat's already basically cooked, and that's gonna kind of get the flavors in there. And then that's pretty much it. And then you're gonna have your pear on top, the glaze on top of the meat, the pear on top of the pork, and that's pretty much it.
Talk about fancy schmancy here. What inspired you to come up with this recipe?
It's basically just a takeoff of a pork chop where the meat is just a giant piece of meat, and instead of going through all the trouble of having this giant piece of meat, you can just cook it easier in this tenderloin, and also the sauce will come through the meat easier when it's a thin piece of meat
So it
versus if it's a giant
permeates
piece.
the meat, goes right through it.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
it's infused,
You get more
basically.
flavor in the meat than if you
Yeah.
get a giant chop. Grab the poached
Yes.
pear right there.
You slice
that
that
here.
beautifully.
Thank you. And you can take a little bit of the sauce if you want a little extra. You can kind of just like give it a little drizzle there
Yeah.
on top. And that's pretty much it. And that's your
nice.
poached pear pork tenderloin dish.
Wow.
And that's basically it.
Looks delicious. Now can we dig in for a second here? Let's
course.
try it. Here we go. You gonna join me?
Of course.
Take a little bit of the pear. Oh, oh wow. That is lip smacking good. The tartness, I know there's tart, there's sweet, there's tangy.
So sweet and salty a little bit.
All these different flavor sensations. That is fabulous. This is a great meal for a special night. Now we're gonna make some pasta with an aglio oil, which is garlic and oil, and we're also making, you wanted to throw in some fresh tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that as well. Is the water ready?
It is ready.
Is it
yeah.
as salty as the sea?
It is.
You
Yes,
put
it
enough
is.
salt in there? Okay, well, why don't you take the top off and we'll throw her in. And while the pasta's cooking, we will make the sauce for it. Super easy. I love when I can say that about most of my recipes because weeknights I hardly have any time, and I know you're probably living the same kind of life. And now that we're getting back to normal, some semblance of normalcy, we're getting back to that more hectic pace of our lives. So we really want to make sure that we find things that are easy and that they're really good for us. You want to keep your health the most important priority in life because when you feel good, you can do anything, right? You need that energy. We want a long, good quality of life. All right, so he is putting the pasta in. I'm going to put the gas on here for the pasta sauce. And the first thing we're going to do, of course, is use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, Chef. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, about a tablespoon. That's what Mom said was about a tablespoon, just like that.
I mean, I would put more, but you
Maybe
can
a
do
little bit
that.
more. If you need it, we'll keep the oil right here. And you know what? Just because you said that, Chef, I'm going to add a little bit more. How's that?
That's perfect.
Good?
Yeah, that's good.
All
Yeah.
right, so maybe 2 tablespoons for this particular dish. It is garlic and oil. You need a little more oil.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So once that heats up in about a minute or two, then we add the garlic. Actually, I'm going to add the tomatoes first. Should we wait on the garlic for a couple seconds there so it doesn't burn?
Well, the liquid from the tomatoes isn't going to let the garlic burn, so you can put them in at the same time,
See,
or
he's
you
the
put them
chef.
in.
I'm telling you, you know your stuff. Because the worst thing you want to do is ever burn garlic, right? Because it's
Yeah.
very bitter.
Yeah, but I mean, certain people like that kind of thing. I mean,
Bitter?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I like bitter garlic in my pasta, but that's most people wouldn't.
That's because you're weird.
But okay.
Do your thing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and
Yep.
come back here
There you go.
and pop these in here.
Oh, your pasta is overflowing with delight. I'll take care of the pasta, you take care of that. And this sauce happens to be one of my favorites, again, because it's so tasty and so quick. This is a weeknight meal. Very, very easy and very quick.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and just take this,
Okay.
take the pasta and drain it real quick.
And this cooks up very quickly here. You have some nice fresh basil for us, all chopped up?
Yes, you're gonna add that at the end.
At the end. Yep. Lower the heat. You want this on about low to medium heat as it's cooking. I say this is truly an Italian kitchen, right? We've got the garlic and the tomatoes wafting through the house. Got lots of steam, which of course is great for a facial, great for the skin. How you doing over there, Jordan?
Perfect. Yeah. So now I'm just gonna add this into the.
Go ahead, because it's ready. And then I'll
Okay.
throw in the fresh basil that you've already chopped up. Love the basil. I tell you, we've got a bouquet here. I love the smell. All set?
Yes.
Okay, let's throw her in.
Okay.
There you go. Nice. Stir this baby up. Oh yeah, that's a lot of pasta there. What is that, a pound?
It is. Yeah. It's a pound.
Okay. Let's see here. The whole thing is you've got to mix this up real well, and you want to make sure you have enough oil and enough tomatoes and garlic. We'll throw a little more oil in here. Again, it is a garlic and oil sauce with fresh tomatoes. Go ahead. Throw in some salt and pepper now. How's that?
It's good. Yeah.
Start
perfect.
seasoning the baby here. Looks great. Smells even better. Nice. Put a little bit of freshly grated cheese on there when the time comes, and it'll be delicious. Looks pretty good, huh, Jordan?
It looks great.
Good enough to eat?
Nah. No, it looks beautiful.
Oh,
It
because
looks
I'm going to
great.
have it myself if you're
It
not
looks
going to
great.
try it. Okay.
It looks delicious.
Oh, I tell you. And you know what? The more garlic and the more tomatoes, the better. And that fresh basil in there. And some fresh Italian flat leaf parsley. I don't want to take this big a bite. I won't be able to talk, but let's find out. Very good. I like, you can even put a little, maybe spritz of lemon juice on there.
Yeah, for like or little capers.
Capers
Like
for a little salty, briny taste.
Yeah, like yeah.
Anchovies, maybe throw in. No, yeah.
You could, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's all. Yeah, that's all.
We kind of riffed on this because normally our garlic and oil pasta sauce is just that, garlic and oil. But then again, you can kind of just be creative, do your own thing, add the tomatoes, add some anchovies if you like them. I don't know how many people like anchovies. I happen to be a big fan. Anything that you think is going to make it taste even better. But this is a great way to start. Thank you so much, Jordan. Give me a big hug.
All right, thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Keep cooking and keep playing that music. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
it.
so talented. All right, guys. Thank you for watching Good Food Matters. I'm Janet Zappala. We'll see you right back here next time on Good Food Matters. Can't say that enough.